Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll cover the row number, rank, and dense rank in Windows function. So what is a row number function? A row number assigns a unique number to each row to which it is applied to. So the meaning of that is, let's say we use a row number function in any of our column. So we are going to have unique number in each and every of those columns where the row number function was applied to. What is the syntax on how we can write a row number function? Here is how we can use a row number function. This is just like the basic syntax on how you can write it. So we have the row number that we have here. So we introduce the over clause and we use the order by inside the over clause. So look at the next one. We have the row number. We introduce the partition by inside our hover clause, and we also have the order by inside our hover clause. So this is just like a basic syntax on how to write your row number function. So here is an example using the customer table. Inside this example, we are trying to look at the sales column. So we're trying to rank each and every of those sales value that we have in the column. So let's look at it with the row number function. So it's going to give us unique value along the column. We can see we have a count of 1 to 8. So here we don't have any repeated values. So they are all unique values. So that's just what the row number function is doing. So let's look at another type of Windows function. So we also have the rank function. Rank function is usually used to specify rank for each row in a data set. So let's say we want to find the rank of employees, we want to find the rank of any kind of sales value in a data set. So we can use the rank function. So rank function works whereby it usually creates the same rank for any duplicated number, or let's say two numbers that are the same. It gives us same rank for those two numbers. And now it's going to create a gap. So we're going to look at it in our example. So let's look at the syntax on how to write the rank function. So here is the syntax on using the rank function. We use the rank function, we introduce the over clause, and using the order by, just like how we did the row number, and same thing using partition by and order by. So let's look at an example with the same customer table. So looking at this customers table, we said we are trying to rank with the number of sales. So let's look at each and every rank we use for this sales column. So for the first one, we can see 1, 2, so then along the column. So let's look at this column. If we have any numbers that are the same. So under Mia, this particular customer, we have Mia and we have Sophia. So they have the same value for their sales number. So let's look at it. We did a rank of 6. So here is also giving it a rank of 6. So that's one thing rank does. It's going to give the same rank for any number that are the same. So the next number that is going to follow is going to create a gap to fill up that previous number that was the same with the earlier one. So here, instead of having 7, we are going to have 8. Let's look at another type of Windows function, which is the dense rank. So dense rank is a little similar with the rank function. So we're going to explain the difference of this dense rank function. So dense rank function also is used to specify unique rank numbers within a partition. So how this dense rank function work is it returns the same rank for ties that are the same, or let's say two numbers that are the same, just like the rank function. But now it doesn't give us any gaps within our column. So we're going to look at that. But let's look at the syntax on how we can write the dense rank function. So here is our syntax. We introduce the dense rank. We use the over clause. And as well, same thing with this using partition by and order by. So let's look at an example with the table. So looking at this table that we have here, so we said we are trying to rank the sales, just like we did for rank function. So now let's look at this sales column. We have the rank. So let's look at those two customers that are the same thing. So it gives us the same rank for those two customers. But now the next customer, which is John, is not going to give it, like, it's not going to create a gap. So that's why we have 7 instead of 8 that we have in the rank function. So the only difference between dense rank and rank function is the fact that dense rank does not create a gap, whereby rank function creates a gap for its own function. So that's just the difference between the two. So now let's look at the three functions all together. So using that same sales column. So we said row number, we have a unique value or true. So inside rank, we said any two numbers that are identical. So it's going to give us same rank with it. So whereby we have 6. And now the next number that is going to come after is going to create a gap for that number. So that's why we have 8 under A. So again, let's look at the dense rank. Dense rank, we have all the numbers going down along the column. So here, for those two customers that are the same, here is give us same rank, just like the rank function. But now it doesn't create a gap. So which is why we have 7 over here. So I hope you understand how this three function works by this simple, or let's say this basic example. So we can then move down to our SSMS to demonstrate how we can use it with any example, or let's say with any customer table. So please, before we move into that, if you're just coming to this channel, ensure you click on the subscribe button and on the notification icon to be aware whenever I drop any new video. So let's move to our SSMS. So now we are in our SSMS environment. So let's go forward to select our table we want to demonstrate with. Everything inside the table. So these are the data we have in our table. This is everything we have here. So we're going to implement the row number first. So let's just select star from customer. Let's give it an alias. So here we want to select everything. So we do c dot star, means we are taking everything. So comma, then we do row number, write a row number function. So after that, we're going to introduce our over clause. So over. So let's order by the sales column. Order by sales. Then you're going to give it a name. You say as row number. Yeah. Okay. So let's run it. So here we can see all the unique values along the column. So this is numbered from 1 to 12. That's row number for you. So now let's implement this using partition by. We're going to partition by the status column. So let's implement that. The same thing we did. Let's do comma. Use our over clause. So let's partition by status. So let's order by sales. Let's make our sorting be in descending order. So we want it in descending order. So let's run our code. So, and again, we must not forget to give this a name. So we must write a name. Let's name it row number. Let's give it a name. So let's run it. So now you can see the column row number. So let's look at our partition one after the other. This is the status column. So it has been partitioned, like it has been grouped together. So here let's see the our row number column. So we ordered by the sales in descending order. So let's look at the first group, which is the cancelled. So here we have 32,000, which is actually supposed to come first. So let's give it a row number of 1, and the next one is 2. So let's look at this grouping in process. So inside this partition, for this, all the customer name, than in process group. So let's look at it. So the highest sales value we have there is John, which is 45,000. So that's what is coming first, and it was given row number 1. So that's what we have inside this partition. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just in all unique values in that same group. So looking at the shift as well, so you can see it was given a row number all through, and they are all unique values. So that's just the row number part. So let's implement our rank function with the same thing we did. So let's say want to do rank. So let's rank. So let's do order by sales first, just like we did there. So in descending order, let's use descending order. So let's name this RNK. So from our customer data, and see which is the alias. So this alias was used to print what we have inside the old table. So let's run it. So yeah, we can see our rank. So let's now look at it in the ordering by sales. So look at it, we said we want to order in descending order. So that's why John is coming first, because he's the one that has the highest sale in all the table. So now let's look at it, 45,000. So it was ranked as the first. So let's look at the next person is 41,000. So rank second. This 40,000. So Mia and Sophia, they have the same, what they call it, they have the same values. So that's why they were ranked 3, like that is they were given the same rank. So let's look at it. We it's going to fill up gap for the next one. So that is why we have 5. So 6. So this continues all over. So every of those number that is filling up, so it's going to add them up as the next value that is going to take. So that's why we have 10 here instead of 8. So if we are to count it, this is 7, 8, 9. So because it skipped 8, it skipped 9, so that's why it's giving 10 for this rank. So you can look at it, it actually fill up the gap just like we explained earlier. And so let's look at it when we partition it by each group. So let's check that by the status. Let's order by the sales. So let's order by the sales in descending order. So let's from our customer table. So let's run it and see what we have. So now let's look at our results. So from what we have here, let's look at each of those status, like all the partition that we did. So let's look at the cancelled group, for instance. So here we rank these cells, that is the Amy, as first. So William was ranked second. So we only have 2 data in this cancelled column, that is for that group. Let's look at the next group, which is in process. So we have John ranked first, Steve ranked second. So we can look at this Mia and Sophia. They are both 40,000, 40,000, 40,000. So that's why they are ranked the same value, just like we did earlier. So now Emmanuel is going to be ranked 5th because it has to fill up gap for Sophia. So let's look at the next one. So we have it just like that. So looking at this shift, you can see they are both the same number, so that's why they are both ranked first. So it has to fill up gap for the next one, that's why we have 3. So looking at everything that we have here, so the partition is just like is ranking according to each group. So that's just what we have. So that's the reason why we have different ranking for each group. So now let's look at the dense rank. So now we can see the row number, we can see the rank. So you can see the implementation, like they are both used differently. So now let's look at the dense rank. So yeah, let's just move straight and see it by using the partition. So we don't have to do over by again. So let's partition by the status. Order by cells descending order. So as D rank, let's call this D rank from customer data. Then C. Yes, you don't have a comma. That's a mistake. So now let's run it and see. So let's see it. So under the D rank, we can see the results. So let's look at each of those. You know, we did partition. So here we have it has given us the rank. So let's look for those that are actually the same numbers. So for this me and Sophia, you can see it gave them both same rank. And then the next person, which is Emmanuel, is given is the rank of 4. So the difference is just the fact that dense rank and rank. Dense rank is not giving us any gaps, whereby rank is filling up gaps. So that's just the difference. So we can see it in our implementation. So many people prefer using dense rank over rank. So they don't have to, but it's actually based on what you're trying to do. If you don't want to fill up any gaps, so you just want all those numbers to be ranked accordingly. So you can either choose any of it, either dense rank or rank. So that's just it. So let's combine all these together and see. Say we want to use row number, we want to find the row number, we want to find the rank all together. Come on. So let's use the dense rank. Sorry. From our customer data, let's see, let's put our alias. So we can combine everything together. Then let's check. So we have the row rank and the dense rank values. So, and not just that, you can decide to order by, let's say, the name or the ID or anyone. So let's say I want to order by the name. So you can see it's actually ordering by the names in alphabetical order. So you can use it at the end of your functions. So you can use this row number, rank, dense rank in any kind of applications, or for let's say your table, you need to check up for something. So this row number, rank, and dense rank, they are actually very, very good. So this is the end of this video. I hope this video was helpful in making you understand how the row number, rank function, and dense rank function works. Also, I have an earlier video which was like an introduction to Windows function. So please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel to be updated on my new videos. Thanks for watching. I would love to see you next time.